And we're back. You know, these things aren't any fun if they go without any hitches. So sorry for that. We lost our Instagram live thing. It crashed or something. I don't know. I got some technical people that are handling it. His name is Sam, and he's doing a fine job, and we still love him. And he'll probably still have a job on Monday. So that'll be super good for him. And at any rate, the yeah, maybe Thursday might be a different story. So stream cut out right before I answered the question about adding ice dub to wings on smaller flies. Yes, that's where we were. So yes, I do it. I really like that stuff on small flies. I've even done it on parachutes. You know, just a strand or two. It's very shiny, so it's easy to overdo it. You know, flash in all cases is like salt and pepper. You know, a little bit is good, a lot is overpowering. But it's very reflective. You know, when you're fishing in the sun, that sticks out like a sore thumb, man. It really is highly visible. You know, and on little emerger patterns, I've always been a fan of the color blue, especially you know, if you've got low light. Are we freezing up again? Maybe it's just me. Nope, there we go. So yeah, absolutely. You know, think of adding just a little shot in, you know, wherever you see fit. You know, if it doesn't work, you got something to blame it on. Let's see, and then yeah, and so you guys wanted to know where the name for the 2-bit hooker came from. So the 2-bit hooker was originally, you know, didn't have a name. It was just a fly I tied to my buddy Matt and I. Matt Prowse lives up in Edwards. Been my best friend for 20 years. We fished the Colorado and the Eagle a ton, and you know, we'd be fishing, and I had tied these what came to be known as the 2-bit, and I had him in my box, you know, and he called it that little beaded May, you know, that beaded May. Put that little beaded mayfly on, he'd say. And his wife's name, her nickname is Bean, you know, like green bean. And he said, you know what, you should name that fly after Bean. And I said, you know what, that's a good idea. I will. I'll name that fly the Beanie May. You know, that's his nickname for her. So that's what we called the fly for a couple of years. You know, and earlier somebody asked how long it takes a fly to get into Umpqua. I had to have that fly for 2 or 3 years before Umpqua had it. So it sort of developed its own name, you know, just between Matt and I and, you know, the guys that I fish with, and that's what it was called. It was a Beanie May. You know, I think it was even on our website for a while, you know, the old website, as the Beanie May. And then I sent it to Umpqua, and Umpqua, you know, they said, man, we love the fly. It's, you know, that's super awesome. It's going to sell well. It's going to fly works. It's, you know, it's awesome. But we hate that name. You got to come up with a better name. And I was like, well, you know, all right, I'll see what I can come up with. I'm pretty good at naming flies. So, you know, I just came home and sat down and looked at the fly, and I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, 2 beads. You know, there's 2 beads on there. So that's where the 2-bit came from. And I was like, 2-bit hooker, you know, of course. That makes perfect sense. And then I had to go explain to Pretty Little Bean that the fly that was named after her is now called a 2-bit hooker. We're still friends. She took it really well. And, you know, funny story in hindsight, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. But the fly has taken off, and it truly is named after Bean Prowse up in Edwards. So we love you, Bean. You know, no harm, no foul. That's where the name came from on that one. Let's see what else we got here. I think since we restarted, we probably are not going to run out of time. So we got time if anybody wants to throw something in there. Let's see. When can you expect to see me on screen again? I think I'm scheduled again like in March. I'm not positive of that. I think maybe Russ will chime in here on my end and tell me when that is for sure. But we've got more of these coming up, more of the Signature Tyer series here with Umpqua coming up. We've got Norm Matkema is on, let's see, I wrote it down here, on December 17th. And then we have the Andrew Grillos Holiday Extravaganza, which will be a bunch of different tyers, tying Andrew Grillos patterns. If you don't know, Andrew Grillos is you know, the guy that came up with the Hippie Stomper, a dear friend of mine, fantastic guy, had a stroke a few weeks ago, and is in for some recovery. So he's not going to be able to tie with us, but the rest of us are going to kind of, you know, take his patterns by the horns and try to show off his good stuff. He's an extremely talented tyer and just a great human being. So be sure to tune in for that one. And if you'd like to donate to the cause, he's got a GoFundMe page up there as well. The link to it is in the Charlie Slybach Instagram bio. so if you want to donate, there's a bunch of different stuff up for auction in there as well. So if you're available, let's see. Russ is telling me March 23rd is when I'm up again. And then so the Andrew Grillos Extravaganza is on December 22nd, just before Christmas. And then on December 29th, we've got my good friend Pat Dorsey, who will be on in tying. And Pat ties the coolest little tailwater stuff. Maybe the best fisherman I know. Gosh, he's probably way better than Lance Egan. Yeah, I mean, certainly taller than Lance Egan, which I can't say, but I don't think Lance Egan can say that about me either. So, but yeah, tune in for Pat, and that's the day before my birthday. So today's like the 9th. You guys have 21 days to pick out something for my 50th birthday. I just want to give you a heads up. Make sure you have plenty of time to be prepared. Nobody wants to show up empty-handed. Let's see what else we got here. I don't know. Is that all the questions we have? Let's see. Always 2 tungsten on a 2-bit. Do you ever go 1 tungsten and another type of bead? I always go 2 tungsten beads, but this year fishing the Arkansas in the fall when it was low, I can see where having the brass beads, with the super skinny water, might have been a very specific situation where having a couple of brass beaded flies might not have been a bad idea. Generally speaking, everything is tungsten. It's always tungsten for me. There's few instances, and I had somebody I had a conversation with about mossy water where you don't want it to plunge down and get into the moss. There are some instances where you want to lighten your fly up, but for the most part, I could get away every day of the year with tungsten beads in various sizes and just control the depth with the length of my dropper. So generally speaking, yes, always tungsten. Let's see what else we got here. Well, I hope Lance was here for that Pat Dorsey comment. Lance Egan ties the pandemic midge, right? I think that's probably right. Oh, my wife says, I think Lance just missed that comment. Lance, you're going to have to watch the video on YouTube. I'll get your measuring tape so you could be assured you're smaller than me. Oh, my friend, I am definitely not smaller than you. I may be half an inch shorter than you, but I'm definitely not smaller than you. Nice try. River of choice to walk and wade, man. I do like the Platte. I guided it for a long time, and I got a little sick of it for a while, but I kind of stayed away from it for a bit. So I'm in the South Platte, down around Deckers and Cheeseman, 11 Mile Canyon. I fish a lot. I like the Colorado too. I'm not a picky fisherman. I like to fish, especially anywhere new. So I'm not terribly picky. And let's see here. Yeah, see, you guys got ahead of me. What goodies did I miss? Pat Dorsey's taller than you, Lance. That's what we established while you were gone. What's my go-to rig with all these weighted flies? So typically my rig is a Charlie Boy hopper with a 2-bit hooker under it, and or a problem child, or sometimes a problem child and a 2-bit hooker. Depends on how deep I'm fishing, how fast the water is. But like a 2-bit hooker and an unweighted fly, Juju Baetis, something like that. Any variety of combination like that, but very often during the summer, especially fishing from the boat, I'll fish a Charlie Boy hopper with a 2-bit hooker and then something behind that. That is a deadly rig for me. That's sort of a go-to. I do fish a 2-bit hooker just under a regular indicator rig, or just as one of my favorite flies to sight fish with because it's heavy and I can kind of high stick and control it. But typically with those 2-bead flies, I've got them on a dry dropper rig. I think those extra heavy flies hang straight and taut under your dry fly, so your bites show up faster. There's no slack in the tippet between the dry fly and the nymph, so everything stays a little bit more taut, and they just show up faster, and it still feels like fly fishing to me. Straight up indicator fishing if I can't see the fish. There is some mystery to it. I just did some of that the other day, just blind fishing. There is some mystery to it, and that's enjoyable, but it's probably out of the bunch my least favorite way to fish. I like to fish dries and streamers, dry dropper, that kind of thing. I like the casting game. I like to cast, so something that lets me cast a fly rod is my favorite way to do it. Let's see here. Pat is definitely taller than me. He's like 6'3". Yes, that's all I was saying, little buddy. Don't get worked up. Just calm yourself. What's my favorite carp fly? My favorite carp fly is a slider, and it's like a Dell's Merkin sort of fly. That slider is a nice soft landing fly, so that's probably my favorite one. Um, I think that's Chris Dixon there saying, let's create our own What the Shuck event, which was a event they used to have down in Creed. Sims used to put on, Michael White used to put on down in Creed. And that was a great time, and I would be all for that, Chris. The story of the forest fire that ruined the Platte is crazy. The Platte was ruined for a while, but it's back and strong. So, ask Pat about that. It's well, last time I was down there, there's some awfully nice size fish in there again. They're in good shape and they're happy and eating everything. So yeah, the Platte is not ruined by any stretch. Um, let's see what else. Um, Neutral colors for winter fishing, or do I like? Winter fishing, typically is a midge game and typically is pretty natural earth tony kind of stuff. So yeah, if that's what you mean by neutral, I'd say that's probably correct. Browns, olives, cream sometimes. Red can have its days for sure. Let's see what else we got. I don't know. Favorite Colorado fishery, man. Again, I'm not terribly picky. I love the Eagle. I love the Colorado. The whole Platte drainage is good. I fished the Platte a lot this year. Not being able to travel as much. We fish up in Wyoming and Idaho. Got some good friends up there that we go up and fish with, and that's always a great time. And it's different fishing than we have here in Colorado. So it's the change up is nice. It's some pretty scenery. I'm not terribly picky. Patterns that I would of mine that I would recommend for new tires. A lot of my patterns tend to be a little bit more complicated. The poison tongue is probably the simplest one out of the bunch. So that's where I'd point maybe a beginning tire out of my specific patterns would be the poison tongue. Good to see you, Lance. Have a good night, buddy. Take care. Access in Colorado is not tricky. No, there is private water in Colorado. But there is tons of public water as well. You don't stumble onto private water by accident. There are plenty of places to fish in Colorado. We don't have the river access laws like Montana does, where if you can get in it, you're in it. But so there is indeed private water, but there's plenty of good good public water in Colorado that you can. Yeah, the eagle. Chris tells me that the eagle sucks all tiny fish. Just stay home and fish the Platte. And yeah, he's probably right. You're right. Nobody else needs to go to the eagle. I don't know. I think we got them all. We'll give it a minute here if anybody's got any last minute questions, but we're it's about 10 after 9. It's probably about time for people to go to bed. I'm sure my wife's got some more Christmas decorating for me to do. We've been doing a lot of Christmas decorating around here, so that's keeping us busy. All the just before we go here, I want to let you know all these videos, mine tonight and all the previous ones and the upcoming videos will be archived on the Umpqua YouTube page, so you can rewatch these and kind of go through and see the different flies that everybody's done. There's a lot of videos on our shop website on charlieslybox.com as well. You can, if you need materials there, it's all available on there as well. And you can order online or you can give us a call. That's super easy as whatever works out easiest for you, just do that and we'll get you whatever it is that you need. Like I said, this has been our 16th year there at the shop. So, we've had a pretty good run. We're in a new spot now. We've got a big, new, beautiful shop, and maybe one of these will do from the shop, and I'll give you a little tour of the new place. That's always fun to do as well. And Russ is telling me now all the fly videos that have already been done. Everybody that's come before me in this series, those videos are already live on the YouTube page. So I'm not sure how long it'll take to get this one from tonight live, but I bet it'll be by tomorrow. Because it sounds like Sam is in hot water for that little Instagram hiccup. So he'll probably be up all night getting this set up live so that you can enjoy it again tomorrow. I know Lance Egan's going to be back watching it word for word. Let's see. What did I miss here in the meantime? I got to look down here for a second. Chris, I will come see you for sure. Yeah, I love going down to Texas. I'll come anytime. Just let me know. Chris, you take care too. Good to see all you guys. It's actually nice to catch up after we've all been locked in. Um, and yeah, my wife's telling me I have chores. Yeah, I told you that was coming. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off for the evening. Thanks so much for watching. This is always fun. I like bringing into our little home and having a good time while we're all on lockdown. And even when we're not, we'll probably keep doing this because it's just plain fun. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week here on the Umpqua channel. And until then, keep tying some flies and see if you can't get a little bit better.